镜花水月，昨日辉煌，一朝称王之人为何而战？
状态起伏，皇冠不朽，为再度登峰造极而战。
后发之人支持后勇，逐梦离乡之人为何而战？
狼群散去，但听狮吼，为重回最高舞台而战。
前路漫长，多有磨难，久别功名之人为何而战？
不卑不亢，静候良辰，为击溃心中魔障而战。
百战千回，盛名难复，初心长远之人为何而战？
漫漫长路，甘为学徒，为骑士永不缺席而战。
静如平湖，稳若泰山，最新团队之人为何而战？
不为声名，不为强者，为众人齐心制胜而战。
金戈铁马，折戟黄沙，享尽荣光之人为何而战？
胜负成败，兵家常事，为无愧满身金甲而战。
激情四焰，天赋异禀，心愿未达之人为何而战？
春日遗憾，金秋奉还，为成长成熟成名而战。
正值巅峰，心存浩瀚，意气风发之人为何而战？
凤翼天翔，野火燎原，只为那梦中银杯而战。
We're in another quarterfinals here in the LPL with RNG and LNG amidst our day. A great way to get into it and a great way to start things off with RNG fans flocking out to the arena, and Raz, who is joining me here today, is in a very, very good mood. We're joining Shanghai once more and getting a closer look at RNG. It is hard working with you. Wish people could see this, but RNG in the arena, getting good looks of Uzi, Xiahu, Ming, people that you look towards. Karsa, who is a fantastic jungler as well. This whole intro's gone out the window, so at this point, all I can tell you is that RNG are in quarterfinals once again. And this is it. Do or die for both teams, in fact. They don't have enough championship points to make their way through to the gauntlet for Worlds. It's about this series right here, getting up to the semi-finals and getting a chance at bare minimum of third, which is what they need to qualify for the gauntlet and at least go the distance. Hello and welcome back. My name's Hysterix. This is Raz. That was the most difficult intro I've ever done because of you.
It was hard.
You were dancing!
I was not doing
You were
anything.
dancing. Raz
No,
likes
not
to
at all.
dance.
No.
Good way to get into
I'm
it.
a serious
This is
man.
Raz, by the way. I'm Hysterix, and welcome back to another quarterfinals, sir.
I'm a very serious man.
Yeah, you're always
That's
so
a crazy
serious.
allegation you were throwing my way.
How am I meant to concentrate with that? It's absolutely baloney. I know there's camera footage out there somewhere. However, coming into another playoff day, it's a big day for RNG, LNG. Before we get into that, let's update you if you haven't looked at the playoff bracket recently here in the LPL. A lot's been going on, speaking specifically to BLG and EDG yesterday, which went the distance.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that it started out with an AP Shyvana, right?
Yeah.
The fact that Meteor came in incredibly strong, like right out the gate, I felt pretty damn confident with my prediction of BLG taking it. And then EDG went the distance. It was a back and forth. And at the end of the day, both teams were crying about how strong blue side was. It was successful through and through. BLG ended up taking game 5.
It was a final finish here for EDG. They will not be able to make Worlds for the first time in the organization's history, so a lot to be taken away. We then go to RNG, LNG today, and there's a lot to take away from this series because this is another do or die best of 5, Raz.
Yeah, now, crazy takeaway, right? Because for LNG, we've had that expectation that they've been struggling for a few splits now, for a few years now. I'll redact my statement.
That's true.
While RNG, there's always that expectation that they'll make it to the finals, that they'll make it to international event. Both these organizations, of course, no points.
Yeah.
Like, or at least for RNG's sake, struggling with points. So if both of these teams, any of these teams end up getting booted out, then they're out of Worlds contention.
They got JDG to thank for that in spring.
That makes, you know, that's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk about that.
Yeah, they do not.
But yeah, you know, I'm just going to introduce RNG just a little bit because, of course, this is their first best of 5 of this split in the playoffs. LNG's already had their series. Now we're going to have a little bit of an introduction for them. In the clips coming up, we get to see a lot of what RNG is good at. Because in terms of just, you know, team-wide kill participation rate, they are the second highest next to JDG. They're a team fighting team. A lot of the times the kills that are gotten, as you can see, it's a low kill game when they're going up against JDG, are through grouping up and looking for fights. Team fight and protect. largely protect Uzi. Now, he can do it on his own, as you can see in the clip here, and a great outplay that he was able to showcase. A lot of the times you'll have either Karsa or Ming being the sole front line, the sole tanks, and being able to accomplish that, so he has a lot of space to work with. But in other moments, you'll see Xiahu actually showcasing either the Karma play or more often, no, more often the Karma, less often the Lulu.
Yeah, talking about that
We
Lulu.
don't want to talk about that. But that's who RNG is as a team. They go late in the game. They look for those 5v5 team fights. While the rest of the globe is focusing more so on solo lanes, RNG is still a team that has high pressure and works towards their 80k.
Which I know for a global audience tuning in, they will understand that form of RNG, because the 2018 RNG we saw was just that. Around Uzi, it was the highlight. And coming into 2019, there has been a shift with Xiahu, more on carries as well.
That's true, but at the end of the day, it's been a successful strategy for this organization to play around Uzi. In fact, before last split, they have had a they've been to the finals 6 times in a row. So I'm just talking about the LPL finals, that they've always been able to nail that. In terms of just Worlds, while we casted EDG to the sides and they're now missing their first Worlds opportunity, RNG has only missed Worlds once in their organization's history. And if we're in that position once again, if they get booted by LNG, it's the same situation that they're running into.
I'm concerned for RNG. This is a do-or-die situation. Of course, looking at RNG, there's still so many good points to talk about. I know when the all LPL teams were revealed that seeing RNG on them was no surprise to some.
Yeah. I mean, across the board, they just have strong talent. Now, if we're just going to show for you, like the one that's unsurprising for anybody is Ming. The strongest support in the LPL for some time now. Certainly the best support in the world that you'd have that conversation about. Ming hit the, all LPL first team. And then for all LPL second team, Uzi was close to follow up. Now it's heavily contentious. Every split, you always have that renewed conversation.
Should have been there, yep.
And then for third all LPL team, Karsa and Xiahu, the bigger names. But obviously, if we're having conversations about the jungle and mid lane, that's an even tougher conversation to have with big names like Knight and Duan.
Yep.
Xiahu had a monstrous split this time around. And so back to the point that you made, you want to definitely see Xiahu be put on carries with how strong of a performance is. But this is kind of coming back to the original discussion that we've had throughout the entire year. How is a team like RNG that has 4 players constantly hitting the all LPL teams in a struggle? Why are they having so little points? Why are they having a tough time to be able to make it to LPL finals, let alone the World's ticket? And it's because there's that one role that we didn't talk about. Top lane.
That's right.
In Spring Split, they had Amazing J. Didn't work out because, there was a lot of issues where misplays happened.
Had to bring Zatai in for the playoffs, and that didn't work out either.
Exactly, and this all started, of course, because Zatai retired, Let Me retired, 2 players that really worked well within the RNG system. And then you bring in Langx,
That's right.
high prospect from Suning, and even then there are concerns because at the end of the day, there's a lot of asks, or at least needs that RNG have of their top laner. You're a bot side focused team, and you're essentially saying, okay, top laner, you're put on an island. 3 people are coming your way at all times. Don't fall too far behind. Amazing J couldn't hit that mark. Love ZRR couldn't hit that mark. Langx couldn't hit that mark, but he is the more experienced player in the end of the day.
Yes.
So we're going to be seeing him coming into today's
It's like putting
best of
someone
5.
over there, they have rations. The rest of the team, they're eating chicken, beef,
Yep.
whatever they want, and you just have to watch while salivating.
Yeah, you're just eating that tough chocolate. That's all it is. Just you can't even put
It
a
might
bite into
sustain
it.
you in the end, but
No, it's definitely not.
well, for the short term, at least it sucks.
Yes. So those are the issues that you have for RNG's perspective. And if we're just going to be talking about the series in particular, they're going up against LNG, a team that definitely shocked the world when they took down IG in such convincing fashion.
3-0 fashion. Not
Yes.
bad.
It's not the first time either.
No, that's true.
Because remember, LNG/Snake, historically in the playoffs, since being here in spring of 2015, have only won a playoff series twice before that. First it was King. God bless them. They're gone. Second, it was Invictus Gaming 3-0 in a fast fashion. And then it happened again. This time when IG were already LPL, finals champions.
They got more titles than this time.
They were looking great. They were looking great. So Rookie had to eat that twice.
Yeah, he definitely did. It's fun to see LNG in this position. Before we go on to the consequences of this matchup, I want to hone down on the specific one-on-one, or rather 2-on-2, when we talk about SofM and Karsa.
Yes.
It's the jungle matchup here that excites for RNG and LNG fans.
Yeah, because initially what was kind of the focus for me, we were talking about the RNG top lane, and certainly you would think about the LNG top lane with how Flande's been performing, but that's just going to be a mismatch with how well Flande's been doing in the system.
Yep.
For me, what's going to decide this series is Karsa versus SofM, because Karsa, third all LPL team, I just regard him as the best jungler in general. Like throughout the entire year, if you're including last year as well, I thought that he was consistently the best jungler in the region.
Good.
But with how Meteor and Tian have been performing, there's been difficulties in that. If we're talking about recency as well, SofM has been incredibly slick. So a lot of great jungle talent in the league. And between the two of them, it'll make this series an exceptional one to watch.
Coming up to playoffs, that's what we want to see from SofM. But first, over to RNG, and we talked about the top lane. It's going to be Langx starting here today with Karsa, we mentioned, Xiahu in mid lane, Uzi and Ming in the bottom.
With Coach Steak following up too, so one of those rare moments that RNG is going to be leaving their Beijing venue, leaving the cage of Beijing, and then moving over to Shanghai. Of course, we'll be seeing them, I think, a little later on going back to Beijing if they succeed in this series. But it's a big if. You can already see tough faces. They're all focused on the matchup ahead going up against LNG. Flande up in the top lane, SofM in the jungle, Fun in the mid lane, and rounding out the bottom side of the map is going to be Asura and Duan.
I know we've had this conversation a lot, Raz, but of course with the mid lane change here and Fun in the past couple of weeks, we've seen more out of him, more consistency, and maybe that's the bolster behind SofM.
Yeah, certainly. I think that the biggest issue for LNG has always been communication with mid and jungle. Or at least at times, you know, the jungle, specifically SofM going in, when there was simply not the state in the adjacent lanes allowing him to do that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we just need them to talk. So Fun coming in, if we're having a conversation between Plex and Fun, I think Plex is the more mechanically gifted mid laner.
Sure.
But Fun, not only has this boy caught up, he's actually doing so well recently in his own lane. He was able to take down Rookie in such convincing fashion. The previous set going up against...
destroyed Maple.
Yes,
Angel,
Maple and
rather.
Angel.
Yeah.
Angel he was able to take down pretty easily. So the last few sets that we've been seeing from Fun, so much added confidence with how well he's been playing. But the primary reason we've been seeing him is the communication. The fact that he is, you know, ethnically Chinese, being able to communicate with the rest of the map is pretty damn easy alongside SofM. While he's Vietnamese, he's been working with LPL teams for quite some time. But taking a look at the specific matchups
This was last time around LNG and RNG in the regular season in summer. And remember, this was LNG 2-0ing RNG. Oh, no, other way around. RNG 2-0ing LNG. Some of their best performances.
So I want to focus a little bit more on towards 2018 Spring. Because 2018 Spring, I remember very easily. That was the best of 5 that they went up against LNG at the time. Snake, of course.
Yep.
And we saw them get destroyed. I'm talking about LNG.
Round 1, correct, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. But RNG went the full distance in that one. And my biggest takeaway from that series is that LNG could have very easily gone to a Game 5 and challenged RNG. But the only issue was, you know, purely drafting. Putting SofM on a Trundle, he literally didn't know how to play because throughout the entire split, he's been playing ganking jungles primarily, something that has more ability to look for instant skirmishing in the early levels. That's funny, by the way.
Yeah, I love that interaction. Never seen that,
but at that time in the best of 5, he wanted to play the Trundle, or at least Coach Kendry certainly put him on it. And it was only until like Game 4 or Game 3 that they decided to take him off of that.
Yeah.
And then they started to succeed, and that's the scary thing about LNG is that they are a very skilled team. Flande, SofM, easily. And then usually the AD carries is always the big question mark for the team, but Asura is certainly a very strong AD carry this year. And so I think he's going to match well versus Uzi. Statistically, he's been incredibly strong. The only difference is going to be amount of resources. We were talking about rations a little earlier on. Uzi gets all the food. Asura gets almost none of the food. And that's basically what it's going to be coming down to. Really, Asura and Duan are going to be on the losing, or at least the weak side of the matchup pretty consistently. That's the expectation that I have going into
I was actually walking into this series thinking exactly about Asura and Uzi because of the similar champion pool and because their ability to play out team fights. If I ask myself in the LPL who are two of the best, or some of the best, team fight AD carries, I think well, Asura's been rising in the ranks, and Uzi's always been there.
But yeah, you said it correctly in terms of rising, because remember, this is his rookie year. It's so hard to kind of remember that, because in Spring Split, he had a dominating series consistently off of his Ezreal pick, moved towards the Karsa, and it's very much similar. If we're talking about champion pools, Uzi showcasing
both
the
of the
exact
most
same.
played Kaisas in the league.
Exactly. So Karsa globally is just the most contested AD carry, so that's not going to be a surprise. And I think Ezreal's going to follow up, at least in this series. So I want to see how Asura can do going into the matchup. He should be fairly confident now. Fun bit last series, he had no confidence that he was going to take down Invictus Gaming. Had already booked his flight going back home. By the time, of course, it had all been resolved and they took down IG in such a surprising fashion, he's already wasted about, you know, a few hundred yuan.
I hope he didn't book another one, Raz. So we're going into another series, one where they should be confident. LNG have already beaten Invictus Gaming. Now RNG stand in their path. The 2018 summer finalists, they've got one more to go.
All right, let's take a look at the bans here. So Olaf is the most contested jungler right now in the LPL. Gragas is also the number 2.
Yep.
So I should be expecting a Gragas first pick here from LNG.
Especially when SofM in the last series picked it 3 out of 3 times from memory. So it seems to be the go-to.
It's just the best jungler at the moment that not only allows you to get the engages you want, provides AP damage so you have AD and you can go towards bruisers in both your solo lanes. And another thing is, I mean, it just destroys the backline. The amount of times that we see a Gragas later on in the game have enough AP to chuck a casket into the back and then half health and AD carry is absurd. So throw that out there.
It makes sense that you look across the board. What else is left that is considered overpowered at the moment? Well, the Aatrox a no-brainer. We talk a lot about the Sejuani, and Karsa's not looking at that. It's the Karma early on.
We've seen these compositions, so still remember, RNG is the type of team that can run Karma into the bot lane, so it's a deeper flex for RNG. But the expectation is that it's going to be going towards Xiahu at the end of the day. So I want to see what FunFun is willing to pick into it. Usually, he takes it as a safe lane and would go towards something like, I'm not going to technically cast it in. This was in the past. But I wonder what it is going to be today.
I mean, remember in the past, we've just seen a lot of FunFun's Corki as well.
Yeah,
we are on
works.
915, so there is no Corki and Azir nerf just yet, but we're talking about that AD carry a little bit before as Asura snags it before Uzi can.
You know, at this point, FunFun should look towards picking his mid laner in the second phase. I would go towards a Nautilus pickup here to at least have a strong enough safe combination. Oh!
Okay.
FunFun is back at it. Picking up this Tristana. Now, of course, it can go up top side, but if you saw the series going up against IG, he just destroyed Rookie with the pick. So a lot of confidence behind FunFun going up against Xiahu here.
He's one of the few mid laners still picking this up. So confidence from FunFun, as you mentioned. RNG locking down their jungler now in the final rotation with the Skarner for Karsa.
So it's going to be a little harder now for the double AD carry of LNG, because now you're going to be investing in, you know, your QSSs. And another point as well is that it's just ultimately going to be harder for you to walk towards the Skarner and deal meaningful damage when the Karma is just boosting him up to get you. So I want to see what LNG has in mind here going into the second phase.
Well, we still don't know what's going towards the support position and one of the solo lanes here for LNG. So a ban away towards the Camille, the Vladimir for Flande makes sense. But LNG have got their eyes on the prize. They want to ban away Uzi's picks now. Zaya's been a top tier, but also Siva has been up there as highly rated.
Now, I'm thinking Varus Tahm Kench. It's a very, very safe bottom lane. Also just has an increased range and will deal with the Karsa very easily. I would ban the Tahm Kench from LNG in this situation.
Okay.
Ezreal, okay.
Right.
Ezreal is also another point of safety because it has the range advantage and in mid-game will pop off. So I think it is a safe ban, but remember you're kind of saying that I'm okay going up against the Varus that will always have a similar range advantage, has a stronger laning phase. So RNG will certainly play towards their bottom lane. I think LNG recognizes that. Let's see what they end up picking for themselves.
Uzi's also picked up Ashe this split as well.
That's true. That's
5
true.
seconds ago to get that worked out. The Siva comes through in the end. Fun fact for you, Raz, if that is your name.
Stat Raz.
Uzi, there it is. His KDA on Siva is 11.8 after 7 games. That's pretty bonkers.
A little wild.
Yeah.
Another thing too is just that his CS per minute is currently at the top of the league in terms of AD carries.
10.7, yeah.
Yeah, so he's currently a little insane in that regard. They give him every wave, or specifically in later on in the game, they give him every Raptor camp and all that. So the jungler, Karsa, is going to be giving a few donations off as the game goes on.
Of course you would for Uzi. What are we going to get? Oh, yes, okay. That's how you start a game one against RNG. You throw the spatter in. RNG like, okay, well, we needed support anyway. That Karma's going to go in the mid lane, but let's come back to LNG because that looks to be a Flande ribbon top.
Flande heard there was a little bit of a top difference this series. Why not?
That's what you do. The top lane, the weakest part of RNG. What more to exploit it?
I'm glad SofM decided to go to Smite. It's worrying me a little bit. But man, I just want to see what Flande and SofM can do in this game. This top side is heavy. And I want to see, you know, because RNG is the type of team that doesn't look to defend top side.
No.
They'll just be okay with trading. And if you're okay with trading against a snowballing ribbon and a Tristana that's trying to take your plates, oh, you're losing a lot.
That's why Langx is always on the Aatrox, the Vladimir, the safe top laners like the Renekton as well, that can survive the 2v1s, can outplay. With the Riven, the ability to get in and out is always there. So this is dangerous for RNG's top, and I'm curious if this changes their game plan going into game one.
So you do have to give top a little bit of love. At the end of the day, you're a ganking jungler, you're a Skarner. Once you get your Predator, you should be on the map a little early. I just need to see him at least give some love up top side.
Yes.
Karsa, I'm telling you, because he's a top-to-bot jungler, but please come back top. It's a little bit, because this team right now, Fen will always, he will have the priority through some point of the lane. It's going to be difficult going up against Karma at times.
Yeah.
Karma has a good amount of poke, but there'll be times if you can just, you know, satchel charge your E, the wave, you will have mid lane priority. You can go top side, you can get a dive going as long as Flande gets the wave pushing in. SofM is going to be looking for it. Karsa has to be aware of it.
I'm excited to get into this game one, Raz. Remember, folks, if you don't know the story of LNG, previously Snake, 4 out of the 6 playoff splits, they have been knocked out in quarterfinals. LNG, this is their curse. They want to break it. They've already beaten Invictus Gaming, one of the 2018 Summer Champions and the World Champions. Now RNG in their sights, and they're not slowing down with this Riven pick in game one of our quarterfinals. Okay,
what's happening?
I saw a flash. Who flashed? SofM flash. Yes, this is a Riven game.
Yeah, we always have to be out there investigating.
So RNG took the first chant. If you're thinking, I thought they were chanting EDG, but leaning, of course. Now, I'd love to see what happened. This is the thing I constantly complain about. I know you do as well.
He got caught. That's basically it.
Yes. Oh, okay. So no flash for the Gragas earlier on.
Nice deep wards placed on his Raptors. So Gragas is going to be starting topside. You know, I always love watching SofM path early. You know, primarily you would expect him going bot to top to path towards Flande. This time around, he's going to be matching the Skarner. I want to see if that just means there's going to be an early scuttle fight bound bot side. We'll have to wait on that.
I was very curious about the warding, but it's a ward towards Raptors that should be able to spot out the Skarner. So Karsa will have the, or SofM rather, will have the information. And that's a good binding. Bop away from Duan, but Asura just lost that heavily.
That's a very good binding. That's what happens, man, when you, you know, the all LPL support.
Yeah.
All these are landing. Ooh. All of them.
This bottom lane's heavy. Ming hasn't played Morgana in a while, but this is one we saw earlier in the split.
That's the binding that, I mean, I'm talking about the first one, that I would never throw, and that's why I suck. Because he just threw it hard to the right. And I was like, all right, well, he knew that he was going to be ducking.
I mean,
able to catch Asura.
One of the best supports. We're having a quick look at Flande in the top lane here. Conqueror on the Riven. Now, you can see, I believe, Cutdown is there as the final take.
Oh, and of course he's going to be having that increased tenacity. I like this. And the sustain from having the Conquerors is an easy one to talk about. I also love the fact that he went towards having the magical footwear, so you get some extra bit of gold that now you can spend towards your serrated Dirk. So good stuff overall. I mean, he's just going to be getting as much CDR as possible, which is the plus.
And you take boots because you're confident that you're going to get a kill in this lane as well, Raz. You get 45 seconds off, and that's all you need, right?
Definitely not the goal, but you know what? Honestly, you get that, you cashing out.
Okay.
You're cashing out.
Well, junglers have finally made their way to the bottom lane here. It's going to be the scuttle started by the Skarner, but SofM was spotted out at Krugs, has the level advantage for now.
Yeah, so great for Skarner, I think. It makes it harder for the Gragas to get that first gank off when Skarner is out on the map, is able to counter gank you. He's not a strong ganking jungler himself early on, especially without having the boot purchase first, but now he's confident being able to farm out. So both of these junglers going to full clear up. That is still Scuttle Crab topside, because of how they both started, is still available. SofM should recognize that, so going straight towards it. All right, we back top lane. Riven is getting some love now.
Yeah, that's right. So Scuttle going to be taken pretty quick here from SofM as easy binding connects there in the bottom lane.
It's that Ming. It's Ming time. It's always Ming time.
Yeah.
That's why whenever you're watching RNG's bottom lane play out, I know a lot of people come in to watch, you know, how Uzi lanes most of the time.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you're like, you come in to watch Uzi, you end up just appreciating Ming throughout the entirety of the laning phase. He's a spectacular support, and just going up against this team always feels like boss mode, not only because you're going up against two exceptional talent, but also they have the camp power. Karsa is always lying in wait.
One of the most versatile supports in the league. No Ming for his Thresh, which in the past has been pretty great as well. That's why the Morgana pretty much lines up with that. So getting another closer look at that. Now, my attention's still to the top lane because it's a 10 CS lead built here for Flande in the early game, and it's a constant shove.
Yeah, effectively about 6 or 7 minions, but that's only going to get larger, especially once he starts slow pushing this in with the mindset of, oh, well, you know what? Before we even talk about that, this bot lane getting a little bit tough.
It is top versus bot this game, though.
Yeah, and I think that SofM and FunFun heavily going through mid lane, and then they're going to go top side, talking about that slow push that I'm kind of setting up for us. Flande will have that moment in which he can look for a dive up top lane. It's going to be on Langx to recognize that, either call for Karsa to defend that, or be able to just completely concede. A lot of the weaknesses from Langx is mostly that he tends to look for outplays. Let's see if how much damage Xiahu ends up taking.
Satchel Charge always going to do a lot with press the attack activated. FenFen has the range advantage, so that's a quick, easy trade, but it ends up being half as SofM in the area. Xiahu backs off.
There we go. Good trade back, but at the end of the day, FunFun has himself the Vamp Scepter. Well, will help him sustain out the lane. Got a lot of potions, and in fact, 2 biscuits here for Karma. So if we're just talking about purely the sustain right now, Karma's going to be doing well for herself.
Well, pings are coming down, though. Look at RNG, the rotation from Ming.
Okay.
This will be an outmatch.
SofM is cornered.
He's going to have to body bop over the wall now. Does he pick the fight? No, he does not. Over the wall, not going to be chained down.
Good luck. Old SofM, a few weeks back, probably looked for the fight before seeing
Very
Ming.
true.
This time around, just recognizing that Duan is back at base, he's now next to him, so they could be challenging for something. But always working alongside Duan to get things done. So this is going to be a fun part of the matchup, is the fact that SofM and Duan have been working so well alongside each other. Karsa and Ming the same. Are we going for a full fight for the Skull Crab, please?
It's going to be 4 versus 4 versus soon as Xiahu's coming on in. That's a good bop here from Duan. The fight begins. Teleport in the backside, and look at RNG. It's deep. That'll pull him out for a while as Flande joins level 6 Riven.
It's going to be heavy LNG favor right now.
Explosive cast onto Uzi. Where can he go? The boomerang blades out. He can't get out in time. Flash not burnt. First blood. It's the trade as RNG turn for the engage. The World Ender doing a lot. The flash from Langx as FenFen is still alive, outputting the damage. Now Asura comes into action and is still alive himself. Xiahu shields up for so damn long as Ming is just trying to bring back the fight. But for LNG, they've hit their mark. It's been messy, but they'll take what they can get.
2 members alive on both squads for a scuttle. That's what I love to see. Both these teams looking for blood. FunFun actually could have survived a little bit longer, but that boy just jumped right in towards the Aatrox.
He tasted it. I mean, this is what we came to expect later in the game with two of the best team fighting teams in the LPL. They hit it off early before the 8-minute mark even hits. And you know who benefited out of that fight? Asura, who picked up 2 kills and survived for so damn long.
This headbutt pulverize was great in 2 ways. Not only be able to start the fight, ducking out of Ming's binding as well. This was great for LNG because they were in position to start the fight. The flank was so far off that by the time they were able to join, Uzi was dead. Now he had flash, but I think that not using flash was a good call. He would have died anyways, would have been chased down, would have been useless for the fight. Now here's the issue. FenFen just jumped straight in towards the ulting Langx. They actually would have done much better here if it wasn't for that point. Langx is a sustaining beast that has the Morgana by his side. Please don't do that. Just please. But that was still, this is what I'm here for. LNG and RNG fighting for Scuttle Crab. If SofM says go, you're going.
You better believe you're going in. So 3 kills for 3 kills. Early game still at a stalemate in gold. And you expect more of those fights to come through, especially since Xiahu here might get turned on in the mid lane at half health. Commitment doesn't come through from SofM. He was moments up from the explosive cast.
Good that Xiahu just disengaged completely right from the get-go. Didn't want to challenge FenFen like we saw initially, first few levels where he was willing to take that fight. Because Karsa's nowhere near him, and you certainly believe that SofM is looking for blood. So was able to just take that on the chin.
I love that we're still focusing around mid lane, but I was going to say moments ago, the Infernal is the first dragon, so you can see why LNG is still here and why Karsa wants to pick a fight. He has the Impale. He's going to pull back the jungle Gragas. FenFen jumps in once again, and Karsa sticks around before his bottom lane can get involved. And now Uzi in a weird place as FenFen jumps on him again. Ming is going to get ulted with a killer instinct. Asura picks that up, and LNG taking the fight, but FenFen gets picked up by Xiahu.
Back away from SofM Scuttle Crab. I thought I told you last time. I love this game.
Me too.
Sometimes you just come right back to the same locale. Karsa was in that dark alley alone, right for the picking. FenFen and SofM just jumped right on him. So that was just a great fight from LNG to begin with. But very rarely do you see these fights in general. So you're right about the biggest winner last time. Asura is now 3 kills in this one. Why are you challenging for this fight when you're dual lane while traveling? Sure, you don't have priority for it. So this was an easy kill here for LNG, and even an easier pickoff from Asura and Duan to be able to get this kill. So all in all, nice. It's unfortunate that FenFen ended up dying on the back half of it, but not only have you claimed your prize now, you've got the Scuttle Crab.
He got the Scuttle Crab.
But now you have a few kills to your name. So point to pick out is Asura has double pickaxe, one for the tier going into Muramana, and the other one for the Rage Blade. So easy pickups that you can get for yourself.
We talk about it for the early evolves as well. I remember this conversation about 5 or so patches ago, so not much has changed, but those 3 kills for Asura, the lane he was losing out in CS, that's going to match very nicely as...
It's that dive we were talking about. Now, there is no wave. It would take a long time until that wave actually crashes. I'm interested in if Tristana doubles down or goes back to mid lane. Yep, we're calling it off.
They're going to leave while the Infernal is started off here. I'm curious if Rift Herald is going to be the call here for LNG to favor Flande's push.
Well, he's starting it right now, thankfully. And you can even see, let's see, where is Duan exactly? Where are my eyes? All right, he's just trying to trace the dragon take. So SofM should be completely safe in being able to pick this one up. It just depends on how focused RNG is. This is a good start for them pushing up mid. Then they can send Ming up to see if there's anyone picking up Scuttle, or at least the Rift Herald. But it seems like they're more focused on picking up some turret platings for themselves.
Especially on Uzi, who's that was a close call. It's an Essence Reaver here for Siva nice and early. LNG will pick up the Rift Herald, and SofM, where is he going to put it with turret plating still 2 minutes available?
Top lane, it would be a great call. They had difficulties in being able to hold the wave last time top when they were going for a dive. It should be easier now. The only concern is you can't get FenFen out of mid, especially since you sent the dual lane. Actually, they only picked up the wave. Oh, you're good now. I thought they were just stuck mid, so not the case. They're going right back bottom lane, which means Gragas can help out FenFen a little bit, maybe get a gank off, and then send him top side, get some plates there for Flande.
There's more turret plating to get with this wave pushing up in the bottom lane. Asura and Duan playing so carefully down here as well. You can see that with limited vision through their own jungle, still not sure where Karsa is, and he will now get spotted on the top side. It's
interesting to see that Gragas is going straight bot. Perhaps could make a play happen. You have a lot of CC to layer down on the Sivir, so the magic binding, or at least the magic shield that she have, isn't too much to be concerned about. Ming could be a problem though, so you'd have to mind game that when he sends down his own magic shield. Karsa, you must be able to see that.
Okay. Wait. Very confused, right?
He was just this is one of those moments that if you're looking at pro view or player point of view, you'd be able to see him looking towards each wave. You know, looking mid lane wave, seeing what's happening. You don't just look at your own champion when you're waiting for a red buff.
That's true.
No one in their right mind does that, and if you do, you're wasting your time.
That is true.
So he literally just didn't see the ward right on top of him because he was like, well, let me get a good look at the map.
Because you know what you do? You instinctively go somewhere and you press X straight away. You know, that's what you do when you stand still. So he stopped attacking the ward, and that's fair. Karsa then moves to the bottom side after picking up his red buff, now controlling the spires around this next incoming Infernal, which for RNG would make 2.
So RNG right now has the second highest dragon control rate next to FPX, unsurprisingly.
I wonder why, because the bottom lane does things like this where Asura gets ignited, Boomerang Blade almost ready, but they don't need it. Now onto Duan, the kill goes over to Uzi again, and takes an extra turret shot, but RNG want to commit down here. 4 members easily done. Xiahu picks up the second one.
Just like that, they got full control bot side. They got shut down gold too. In this scenario, I actually would have changed things if I'm LNG. I know coming into the draft, you send everything topside to the ribbon. But your Karsa has 3 kills.
Yeah.
And she's really getting going. I would change it on the dime like I mentioned, and I would send the Rift Trail down bot side, but they were willing to take it, you know, give it away. And unfortunately now, kill gold goes over, shutdown gold that is, over to RNG.
I mean, they look at Flande, they say, look, let's get the Riven even further ahead. They get that first turret blood in the top lane and mitigate some of the gold lead that RNG obtained from that turret going down, from the extra turret plating, and from the double kill they got on Asura and Duan.
Now, this is going to be annoying for RNG. They're going to be losing a lot of control wards up top side. So Aatrox, if he ever wants to be a part of a fight and doesn't have teleport, just has to take the long way around the red side jungle, lest he get caught by like SofM, Flande, or anyone of the likes. So it's going to be a difficult one from him. Asura should be fine with it just because he wants to focus on farming anyway.
Yeah.
His concern is being able to stack up his Muramana, get towards his Rage Blade, and then be able to join fights. So LNG wants to slow the game down a little bit, while RNG certainly wants to be able to ramp up the pace around their control, like the advantage that they currently have. If I'm talking about advantages here, while I said that that map state was bad for RNG, they have now a look at double Infernal Dragon. So it would have been fine if the dragons were a little bit more meaningful for at least less meaningful for LNG, but now they're going to be technically losing out double Infernal.
Especially when they've lost control of the river here, it's going to be pretty easy for RNG. You can see LNG very defensive vision towards their red side, which enabled Asura to get the shove, which enables FenFen to stay in that lane. LNG now have to push up, and RNG contesting for vision seems to be the go-through as they're hanging around.
All right, I like the fact that FenFen has bot lane shoved out for himself, so it's forcing Xiahu to match. That always means that FenFen will be able to get that rotation first, being able to move through mid. That means that they should have, you know, control wards being cleared out soon enough. 12 seconds now. I wonder how RNG is going to be able to handle that.
They have taken a couple of backs here, especially on Ming, who now coming back into position. 3 members here. And Xiahu,
get him.
3, 2, 1, peekaboo, SofM says, how do you do? And RNG's mid laner goes golden to buy time, but the rest of RNG can't get near him. He'll flash. The jump will come through from FenFen. The charge, the flash. Oh my, there was a lot used to get him.
But they still got that pick. It's going to be hard now for RNG to take this fight without Xiahu. I think they're going to be a little less confident in going for the fight now that Flande is grouped up too. But I love the fact that SofM was so confident he was going to get that body bop that he buffered his ultimate.
Yeah.
Said, yeah, you're definitely dying. And in fact, if you try and walk towards the turret, I'm going to throw a barrel over there just in case.
FenFen, even after using everything, still picks up the kill and is able to group up with Asura and pick up this bottom lane turret. LNG in a 1k gold lead before RNG get the mid lane turret. But this dragon that was up for contention, it looks like LNG are going to take it while the TP comes on in. And on the hunt from Uzi, but look at Flande's positioning. He's looking for the 1v1 with Xiahu while Langx goes into World Ender, is speeding up the flash from Ming, lands the binding, and that'll be the first kill. FenFen is down, and now RNG have the advantage. They're chasing after Duan and SofM.
Yeah, they should be fine now, but certainly FenFen had already used his rocket jump, got caught at the very tail end of that. But that's a worthwhile trade there for LNG because they had to force that Infernal Dragon away from RNG. Next one is going to be coming up, a triple Infernal Grid.
We got some hot dragons.
That really helps out RNG a lot because of how this early game was played out. So it's forcing this game to be a lot more fiery in the early portions of the game. There we go. Asura was able to cash out in his cull, thankfully. So he's going to be selling that one and that much closer to being able to get his Rage Blade. Let's see how close he actually is.
Yeah, I think it should be the Gwyn's who's picked up unless we get the recurve bow.
There we go.
It is. Okay. Big buy here for Asura, but we'll have a look at Xiahu again.
Boom! Look at that buffer. That was actually just so sick.
Yeah.
You very rarely get to see Fat Man mechanics until that point. Now, this is the moment where he should be confident in walking away. He walks up closer and the sustain comes back on towards Karma, so he has to flash for it. So he does rocket jump to start. They all just move towards him. Very easy pick up there. But yeah, Fen misplayed at the very, very beginning of that one. Just be confident that you can walk away from an explosion like that.
We've seen a couple of misplays from Fen in this game, so there's been moments with rocket jumps and even moments like that. RNG exploiting that weakness through the mid lane, and now his third death looking for his second item. We'll see how Fen recovers moving into this mid game. Because for the time being, when we talked about Asura, remember that 2-item spike has now come through. I'll have a quick brisk look across because for Flande, who received so many resources in the early game, and who is still about 40 CS up over Langx, this Riven almost towards what looks like a potential death stance.
Let's take a look at what we missed out here. Ooh. Oh, no. Why do you have to do that to shame him? You could have just hidden it.
We missed that.
We didn't have to see it.
We did not.
Let it be, all right? That's for everyone out there. Don't laugh at other people's failures. That's just mean.
After Duan has...
You grew up better than that.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there.
Unfortunate. Well, that's going to be the flash down for the Alistar at the very least, so that'll explain one thing, but LNG is still up towards that top side. Pings are going down towards Xiahu up in this longer lane.
Yeah, they're going to have at least a next few amount of waves pushed up, but to me, this is very meaningless unless if they get the kill. Because, you know, you're 2 minutes off until the next dragon. You should just be farming up waves. He's going caught. Okay, well, you know, you have a... Oh, I didn't see
Ming
you there.
He's going to get vision of it, so...
But yeah, they should be trying to focus towards the mid and bottom lane waves. Not being able to pick up vision up top side with how Dragon's going to be coming up in a few, so... That's my concern.
Gonna reset in a while, though, but on the rotation, question mark, as Karsa has Flash and Impale. LNG can't walk that way, they walk away. And who's going to be chasing up Asura, who's been caught out, has to flash. So LNG just walking between side lanes.
Really good pickup. Makes it far easier now for RNG to get a pick on towards Asura in the next fight. He would have to use ultimate to get that dash. Thankfully, he has QSS, so it just can't be Skarner looking to get a pick on him.
True.
But there is a lot of diving picks now from RNG, and you have a Sivir that can just dash right through, or at least allow others to do so. So it's going to be a harder team fight for Asura the next time we see it.
Just so much momentum, so much speed with Karsa, Xiahu, and Uzi. It's going to be the Black Shield on top of Karsa to chase up SofM. Now has to burn his flash, and that's how easy it is for RNG. They walk towards a member of LNG isolated, and they get the summoner.
This is ridiculous.
It really is.
Just watching them group around and chase people down. You've lost now a lot of flashes on the side of LNG. I wasn't too concerned about Asura only because of the fact that he still had QSS and his own ultimate to get out of there. But I'm more concerned about SofM. That's your way of engaging. That's your way of starting the fight. Now I'm sure, yeah, Morgana is going to be there and make it harder for you, but it's going to be an even harder dragon fight. 30 seconds on the clock now. Who has the vision control? Should be RNG.
I'm looking at who has the damage as well. And Raz, this time around, Xiahu is not going to be on supportive duty. So that 2-item spike comes in red hot with the Loon's Echo and the Sonya's Hourglass.
I love just seeing this. Kuro was starting to do it, saying, I don't need actual support items because I think we just need a second threat. This time around, RNG is doing just that. A lot of poke threat in what is a very squishy composition.
People did want to see Xiahu carrying, and even on the Karma, he can do exactly that. Level 13 now, so see the spark, and that's going to be the nuke that misses from Asura. He used the QSS to get out of there. RNG chase him down, and LNG in front of this dragon, they have to leave.
LNG is just going to lose this fight. How many flashes right now happen in the last 3 minutes? SofM, Flande, and Asura have lost their flash. In fact, Duan technically too, looking for that earlier play.
He Hex Flashes over the wall. There's only one summoner in Fen available. The explosive cast does the damage. They flash on in, and that's what happens when you have your summoner and power can't be escaped from. The dragon will be stolen by SofM, so great job, but can you survive? Get knocked back here from Karsa. Fen does the damage again. The flash away, the final one, is going to be burned by LNG. The chase up's still there, and LNG are in so much trouble. Langx goes golden, and that's who they were aiming for as Ming flashes on in with the binding. He'll die, but the messy fight concludes with an RNG win.
3 deaths on the side of LNG. Ming tried his hardest not to be one of them. He did have stopwatch, unfortunately. He just didn't think that he would take that much damage. I want to see if he did. Maybe he bought it just right now. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. In fact, no, I have a computer right next to me. No, he had stopwatch. Sad. I'm sad for him.
Okay.
But, you know what? He tried his hardest.
Yeah, he did.
At the end of the day,
Great
while you're right.
Yeah.
He tried his hardest.
He tried his hardest.
Sadly, yes, they lost 3 kills for that. But that's a second Inferno now for LNG. When they're setting up now for the Baron, it's going to be a little harder for RNG to kind of deal with how much damage they have on their side.
Very true. And when you talked about, you know, this game going slower for LNG when we get to an LNG 3 to 4 items, well, that double Infernal is going to start paying in dividends, especially when you have this Tristana that's going to build some really heavy damage items.
I wonder what he's going to be picking up right now, since he does have likely just going to be going straight towards the rapid fire cannon before he goes towards the Infinity Edge. I like that choice. Makes a lot of sense. And you already have now your Mirror Mana fully stacked up, straight going towards an Asher's Tooth, so Asura is in a pretty decent spot. So that double Infernal Dragon, with how much they were willing to kind of throw out there, no flashes, so certainly no exit strategy for the side of LNG. This is what it comes down to. That was a pretty heavy investment. Let's just hope that the gold that you gave RNG doesn't pay off. Look at Uzi's items. That's all I gotta say.
About to say, like, this game's been set up for an 80 carry late game team fight, as we alluded to before pick and ban.
We talked about the fact that he was at 10.4, 10.7.
10.7, yeah.
CS per minute right now. I mean, this on average, but right now he has 276, 25 minutes into the game. That's pretty big, and it looks like Asura.
He doesn't have flash yet. Oh, but Karsa can't get him over the wall. The vision's not there. They don't lock him down with the Dark Miners. Duan! What a knockup from the Alistar! But can LNG secure the fight? The Impale will come through. Aatrox comes in late. Flande picks up the first kill, but I think you know the answer, ladies and gentlemen. Fen will die as well. Hang on a minute. As Flande gets the stun down, he survives the Riven, does the dirty work, but Uzi is still alive. SofM over the wall. And I can't believe RNG are bringing this fight back, because Langx with a triple kill, chasing the Gragas with thumbs in the air.
Get him.
Langx's not done. He wants this belly bopper. He'll chase him away while Uzi gets the turrets down.
Langx just gave him the longest sing of his life. That was literally 3 kills that he took on his own. That's Aatrox balance for you. The sustain, that crit damage that he had, that because it was in the sweet spot. He couldn't get that quadra, but goddamn, welcome back to RNG's main roster.
I need to see that fight again, because after Duan got the Miracle Engage, the 4-man knockup, I thought that was over for RNG.
That was a beautiful look. Right from the beginning, you called it. Humongous headbutt pulverize combo, and a great ultimate to catch him out. I want to just say, focus on Fen on the outset. He's very low. He wants to find that avenue back into the fight, and immediately gets poked out by Karma's Q, and then finished off by Langx. And then he just goes wild. Yeah. Literally wild. Of course he wants to chase down Gragas, not only giving space to Uzi to pick up that in-her turret, but also because you got that goal already, he's back into the game. He was under threat for the majority of it, was on the weak side of the map, always threatened by Flande, SofM, and Fen, and now he's right back into the thick of things.
That's why I love when people talk about RNG's top laners and the instability they've had for 2019. It always comes down to the same factor for them, though. They can all still team fight, and Langx definitely not an exception after picking up that massive win. Now 4-0-5 with his 3rd item on the way. RNG have the gold lead back in this game, and they've got a mountain waiting for them.
And this is the worry, because although the gold lead may not be significant, it's who the members, like which team members actually have that gold. 7 kills, 300 CS, and nearly 6 items. Very close pick on Duan. In fact, they'll get him anyway.
Yeah, they want to stun him down. It's not going to be the ult here from Karsa as he still has the flash to turn around. Get ready for the unexpected measures. LNG getting bursted down. Flande has to leave as well.
All right, so Karsa wasn't able to use his ultimate there. I guess didn't want to in that instance. Probably would have been a bait. Alistar would have been able to get out of that one. Or at least start a fight of his own.
Of course.
But this is a pretty tough one for LNG now. There's a whole host of sustaining now coming in from Uzi with the Bloodthirster pickup. My concern is how they're going to be looking for that dive. If Riven is going to be the member that dives straight into the back line, Karsa is just going to be wheeling him back. Langx is going to be buying a lot of time. Really, it's all on SofM to find that key target.
I like this push here from RNG while they thought, okay, if LNG want to threaten something like the cheeky Baron, we push the mid lane, we get the shove. RNG do it anyway, and look at where SofM is. He's deep in enemy lines right now towards the Baron, which RNG are heading.
Yeah, RNG should be able to easily pick up the vision here and should have control for some time. This is the danger of RNG's composition. It's Sivir, Karma, and Skarner. They'll find picks. It's just going to have to be on LNG that plays this creatively to get around this.
Look at Asura, look at Fen. There's a 2-3 item Karsa with the QSS. There's also the Infinity Edge picked up now for Fen. So the possibility to find that hyper carry fight still there for LNG.
They should just start this now. Honestly, they're going to be afraid of you for a very long time. You can easily turn off of it and just allow Skarner to go.
Great binding there from Ming. The stopwatch used here from SofM. It's actually his on as Duan goes in once again, but this time it's not the Miracle Engage. LNG getting poked down as the binding will also connect again. Look at where Flande is, though. He wants to find the flank.
Alistar can't fight no more. He actually has to go back to base.
SofM might be caught out here. Karsa's chasing him. Body pop away. But RNG are low. They need to leave.
Yeah, good amount of Oh!
Really good explosive cast onto Langx. The Black Shield's going to go down, but into the world, and a GA is going to be popped. SofM pulled back by the Infernal Chains. RNG, their top lane is almost dead. They're pushing forward. What a stun there from Flande. The Flash W. Riven comes in handy.
Maybe this could be a Baron turn for LNG. Flande is starting to come up big in this portion of it. In fact, by the time he gets on the map, he'll have his Guardian Angel back up, and he can look for that once more, just because he has that added bit of safety. So this is very much a tough game to call.
30-second death timer, but LNG not towards the Baron yet. Pings are going down rapidly as I look at this game, Raz. In game 1, 30 minutes already, and it feels like an RNG-LNG game. The team fight set up around this one objective.
Are we really going for it? They just want to clear it and then back away. They don't want to fully commit to a fight unless if SofM is confident that he can get the pick.
The blind binding again here from RNG as Karsa goes into Predator once more.
Let's see if he can go for it. SofM is constantly looking, but the vision is there by RNG. In fact, they might just find him.
They will, actually. Here comes a Righteous Warrior. No slow comes through. The Chilling Smite's there. They pull him back. SofM's caught out. His team left him 45 seconds.
They want to look for another pick. They don't want to start just yet. LNG can still pick up a teamfight win.
They're going to lock down Fen as well. Great dark behind
it.
Gets the kill. LNG caught out a second time.
Fen is down. SofM is down. You can pick up any objective you want now.
Teleport going to be coming in from Langx right through the mid lane.
Very long death timers. 40 seconds left on Fen. They can try and force an end game. I don't think LNG can actually stop them. No one is there for the engage unless if it's Duan, and they can kill him outright.
2 big picks. Is this how it's going to end for RNG in game 1? LNG pulling back the first Nexus turret going to go down. The second one under siege. Duan tries to do it again, but it's an instant disruption here from RNG. They pull him back in. They look for the end. It's a great defense, but the flash comes through from Langx. The ult from Asura as well. Uzi gets one onto the cowl, and LNG, they may have defended this, so Uzi turns around too far forward. The Karsa flashes in. They cancel each other out. RNG, it's a 2 versus 2 as GA is going to come up from Flande, and Karsa now running for his life, but that should be it. LNG have successfully defended.
Big boy Flande finds the pick, and that's 1K gold now that Asura was able to pick up. That was a very fat Uzi, by the way. He was stacking cash, and Asura was able to find that last pickup before he died. They got a rabbit on his death cap now.
One last stand for LNG, but that's not going to be it because it came down to 2 big picks that led RNG into the base.
This was a very good pickup by Ming. It was a great start. Now, most teams would go straight towards the Baron buff. They thought they could end. Duan was not able to get the headbutt pulverize combo, and it was up to Flande and Asura to find the key picks. So Langx goes in very early, but remember, that's a lot of damage now that Asura is able to provide. But we have to go back live.
You don't get a chance, Raz. We just go back to Baron once again. It's been hitting so hard by LNG.
They got
RNG
this.
need to get into the pick. Karsa's nearby, but 1K, it's gone.
RNG wants to pick up the fight, but here we
Belly
go.
Bob, they're going to find Xiahu. Shielding's not going to save him. Asura ults into the middle. Is that a mistake? Because Uzi now gets the ricochets off, but they've got one pick already. Uzi's still firing in the back line, and Ming goes golden. But look at this Zipper. The ricochet spread. Launching with a cleanup. SofM wants him out of the game. But RNG rely on their AD carry, and he comes up big again.
Both of LNG's ADs just committed suicide. Both of them. At least Asura provided some damage before he went off, like God rest his soul. But Fen just followed suit.
The rocket jump giveth, the rocket jump taken away. As RNG finally finish this siege off, it's going to be the Nexus turret and the Nexus. And Flande's had some great engages, but he can't save this one. Uzi knows what to do and how to lead the charge here in game 1.
How are you going to repay SofM's great engage with that?
That was a great game 1, though. I don't care what happened in the end. That was magnificent.
I agree. We need 4 more of these games. 4 more.
Turned on a dime. It was picks that got the game for RNG. It was picks that led them into the base. It was picks there from Ming. That blind binding that pretty much cemented it for RNG.
Honestly, Ming should just be just give him the MVP of the game right now. He slaughtered the lane. He actually performed incredibly well in the laning phase. Mid-game, you're right. He was able to find constant picks, was able to support the Skarner as well, so he did his job and he went above and beyond. But at the end of the day, you can see it through the goal difference over time. It was a back and forth game. LNG made that big call at the very end. You see that big dip right up? 33 minutes around there. That was that big play that LNG were looking for. For a very slight moment, they had a gold lead.
Yep.
But that's how, things, sometimes you misplay. It happens at times. The fact that LNG found themselves back into the game after being 3K down is already a blessing, but this game is, or this series that is already delivering.
We are set up for a big series ahead. We're set up for an 80 carry series ahead, Raz, because Asura and Uzi, they were the forefront of that game 1.
How many 80 carries can we have? Let's get a Tristana versus Corki.
That's true as well. Fen in the mix.
Well, we just need it. We need it because this game is real fun to be able to just watch how confident these carries are to just go along with the fight. Because even though, I made a point about Asura at the very last fight, I like that call because of how much shield he had from being so heavily in towards the AP build, right? I already had double Infernal, empowered Rabadon's Death Cap.
Yeah, like
he was
Rabadon.
there and he was able to find a pick too at the very end of it. A lot of my blames goes towards Fen. I'm just going to put that out there. But like the confidence combined between both these teams is fun to watch, and I hope it doesn't diminish as the series goes on.
That's how LNG got here. It was the IG 3-0 that obviously gave them this confidence moving into RNG.
Yes.
What did I say coming into it? That they've already taken down IG, RNG just the next stepping stone out of champions to be.
Yeah, so this is crazy because a lot of people didn't even expect LNG to get this far. They expected that the first series going up against Invictus Gaming was not even going to be close. And then they go up against RNG, and it feels even more competitive to a certain degree because we expect RNG to kind of match them in every lane, at least except for the top lane.
Yeah.
But it was more about the mid lane and bot lane strength of LNG, and SofM having those key picks later on. It feels like it's going to be delivering, and it could be a career-building moment for Fun or Asura.
We'll see. Break. Then we come back for game 2. I can't wait. Let's go do it. We'll see you in a bit.